when something strange happens on YouTube, what can you do? Go to our Patreon! We'll talk more about that later. Ghostbusters Afterlife. The official trailer is here. And the original cast is finally returning.
Oh, you mean Kristen Wiig and Kate McKinnon and Melissa McCarthy?
Did you notice he listed everyone but the black girl?
Leslie Jones!
Racist over here.
What are you doing here in Somerville anyway?
Honestly, my mom would say it, but we're completely broke. And the only thing that's left in our name is this creepy old farmhouse our grandfather left us in the middle of nowhere. Why'd you bring me up here?
Entertainment value?
What is that?
I don't know.
Somehow, a town that isn't anywhere near a tectonic plate, that has no fault lines, no fracking, no loud music even, is shaking on a daily basis.
Hey, remember that one summer we died under a table?
I found this in my living room.
Whoa, killer replica.
A replica of what?
A ghost trap?
The sun.
Hasn't been a ghost sighting in 30 years. New York in the 80s? It's like The Walking Dead. Your dad never mentioned this to you?
It's just my mom.
But who's her dad?
My grandfather died. My mom says we're just here to pick through the rubble of his life.
Who's her grandfather?
Is she Fingman?
Who are you?
Yeah.
Her grandfather has to be Harold
Ernie
Ramis.
Hudson.
Call it luck. Call it karma. I believe that everything happens
A reason.
Tracy Letts getting all the work.
Come on, darling.
Ecto.
It has a gunner seat?
Oh, cool. Wow, so different.
Interesting.
Well, I guess Ghostbusters is getting the Amblin Entertainment treatment.
That's right. Let's get that Stranger Things popularity in there.
So Finn Wolfhard is just destined to be typecast
Kid in paranormal situation with wisecrack jokes.
in the 80s horror genre, I suppose.
Yeah, or 80s nostalgic genre at least.
I thought it was interesting how like the first parts of this trailer just seemed like a Jason Reitman film, like the Jason Reitman indie dramedy vibe, this coming of age story of sorts.
Story about people.
Yeah, and then it transitioned into an Amblin Entertainment film, more so than I even thought it might have. Even with going to the woodshed and the car there, it seemed, so I was like, oh, it's like that scene when he discovers E.T. Like the way it was shot, it just reminded me of that.
That sense of like wonder, but also, ooh, is there danger here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that the grandfather has to be the Harold Ramis character, the Spangler character, which I think would probably be the most appropriate way to handle the situation, considering that he's the original Ghostbuster who unfortunately passed away. That way you still have his presence be talked about and be alive, and he was the smartest of them all. So like the idea of bringing back the original cast without him did feel a little bit odd, because I mean, he was such an integral, he was like a co-writer on it, and he directed the second one. I think having his presence really be felt is important, and I'm glad the trailer did not lead with pure nostalgic purposes, like they hint at it with the 80s footage when they're looking on YouTube or something. There's a lot to look forward to here, I think. I have to really adjust. This doesn't feel like the true Ghostbusters 3. I don't think they've said that, like Jason Reitman and stuff. I don't think they've said it, but the way like the marketing has been for, at least in leading up to the official trailer, has been, this is going to be the real Ghostbusters 3.
We're going back directly to the universe. It's linked to the original characters. colors and stuff. Yeah.
But it's a whole vibe, mood,
Feels like a
tone, energy.
different kind of
completely, yeah, it's like a completely different kind of film. I guess that kind of threw me for a loop. This is one of the things that when you do reactions that you get a little bit surprised, and it takes a little bit of time sometimes to process what you're feeling and thinking. I like it. I do. It does feel very much, though, a product that would happen
Of the now. It feels very
with
now.
the way we handle our 80s nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because, like, in the one sense, I'm not blown away by this trailer. In the other sense, I do appreciate that it isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, and it wasn't exactly like, remember how the last Ghostbusters went? We're just going to tape over it with all the stuff that you love and remember. Like, I like that it does kind of appear to be doing something that could be its own thing, and it seems appropriate that Paul Rudd, the character who would have been around during the 80s, is the one who's enthused about this, and the kids are just kind of learning about it. They don't have the built-in knowledge. It's not like, oh, they're obsessed with Ghostbusters or something. So there will be like that sense of discovery, and if you're repackaging this for a new generation, again, you know, that seems appropriate anyway. As much as there are a lot of debatable circumstances, I feel like, yeah, I like having the Jason Reitman tone, especially if you're going to have the kids. It might be worthwhile to do some kind of coming of age, but there wasn't anything that made me like, I can't wait.
I think with Ghostbusters, what we tend to associate is the comedy or the fun, spooky stuff.
Yes.
To which
There's none of that. I know a lot of people care about Ghostbusters, but at the same time, I'm like, those are elements I think are very important, and I like that there's like
this whole thing is the
weirdly-
Avalon Entertainment wonder. This is what it was the whole time.
Yeah, I'm like, is this gonna be just like a coming of age story with a Ghostbusters backdrop? Because that would be interesting, but I don't know if that's what everybody wants.
I don't know how people are gonna respond to this trailer.
They're
We're
gonna
watching this
love
right
it.
when it came out. Hey, Ghostbusters is a very
It's the best
fascinating
film
fan
of
base.
all time. It's the best.
Apparently, even taking that moment from Bill Murray's audio from Ghostbusters 1 when he's, you know, convincing Dan Aykroyd of like, no, we gotta start our own business, call it fate, call it karma, to repurpose that dialogue for a more wondrous vibe.
Yeah.
I thought was really, because I don't feel like, oh, wonder there. I felt in the first movie, it seems like yeah, he has this like overblown optimism about what they can do in their tight situation, but he's still trying to manipulate his friend into doing something. So with here, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess there is a sense of joy here. Ghostbusters 2, that picks up where the Ghostbusters are has-beens. There's no ghost activity. Ghosts come back, and then they're back in the spotlight again. And then they solve a big problem. And then I guess they're just forgotten.
Every few years, they'd have one case and then fade into obscurity.
Yeah.
It was very like, what have you done for me lately for the Ghostbusters?
Kind of a weird trailer I gotta process. I respect that there seems to be like some horror things, but it just seems like straight out of Stranger. This seems
It does.
This is too Stranger Things-ish to me.
It's that thing where things that inspired newer pop culture mainstays then get inspired by those things that they inspire. It's like when I saw the 300 sequel, I was like, this looks like just like all the Spartacus shows that 300 helped open the door for. and yeah, it does very much feel like it's got all the things we love right now to make this popular. Not that it couldn't work. It's going to be all kids ostensibly, like operating the Ecto and things like that, and I'm a little curious about how that's going to play too, especially after having people ghostbusting who nobody could agree on last time.
Yeah.
Swapping it out for kids seems like something of a tall order for some people, I would imagine, maybe, but I don't know.
Jason Reitman is the son of Ivan Reitman, but they've made very different films.
sensibilities. Yeah.
And so it's cool that Jason Reitman is doing more of what Jason Reitman would do. And I like the cast, I like the director. Even though I love the first Ghostbusters, I'm not like religious about it the way some people seem to be.
I'll cut you.
If anything, I prefer that this at least looks different than what I expected.
Yeah.
And it'll probably grow on me. All right, guys. Well, what did you think of the Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer? Do you like this rendition? Do you think this is going to be amazing? I don't know.
This brought Ghostbusters back to its glory.
Make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell if you enjoyed our video. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. Make sure to check us out on Patreon where we do stream-alongs for many shows. Stream-along means sync up with the time code. Those series are Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Stranger Things Season 3, Gotham, Cobra Kai Season 2, and then there are several shows where we actually do reaction highlights for them, so you can actually get the stream-along option or or watch a cut-down version with reaction highlights, footage included. And those shows are Supernatural, Hunter x Hunter, Code Geass, Death Note, My Hero Academia, movie included, and Attack on Titan. And I'd like to end this with a Patron of the Day shout-out to a man named Derek Mitchell. When there's something strange happening in your car, who you gonna call?
Derek Mitchell.
You know, if I kick something off and you just interrupt me, I was gonna say call an Uber.
Oh, call an Uber because
Dick Mitchell is driving
sorry.
for them. A lot of times I set up these things that I'm about to knock out of the park, and then you just
ruined your
interrupt with a
shout-out.
completely different comment and joke.
You know,
And Derek,
I didn't mean
I'm
to ruin
sorry.
your business,
I'm
Derek.
sorry, Derek, for the way John has ruined your shout out. Look, I'm glad you're back at our Patreon. I hope you have a good Christmas. And hopefully, as you Uber and Lyft, the people will tip you significantly more because they're in the spirit of the holidays.
yeah. Plus those peak holiday hours.
And I hope they don't ruin your shout outs
Derek.
the way how he has done this to you. I'm
I'll
sorry,
buy
Derek.
so many
I'm
Ubers
sorry.
from you.
I'm sorry.